the concept of bit and byte. So this is the basic storage unit of the computer. So we will start with the bit. So what is a bit? So bit is a short name. Its full form is binary digit. So any digit either 0 or 1 is known as a bit in binary number system. Then the next word is nibble. So what is a nibble? So nibble is just a collection of 4 bits. So when we combine 4 different bits, it is known as a nibble. Now the next term is regarding the byte. So byte is a unit for a storage. So a collection byte is a collection of 8 bits. When we combine different 8 bits, then it will become a byte, and byte is a basic storage unit of our computer. Now the next keyword is word. So generally we have two word. First is 4 and which is used inside our 32-bit operating system, and the next word size is 8, so which is used for 64-bit operating system. Now the computer organization. So we will see how the computer is organized, right? So basically a computer performs different operations, and all the operations are listed here. Basically computer performs 5 basic operations: input, storage, process, output and control. So we will see one by one. So the first operation performed by the computer is it accesses the data or instruction by the way of input. So as we have seen earlier, we provide some data in the input phase, right? Now in the second step, what happens? So whatever the data we have provided in the input phase, that is stored inside our memory in the second step. Now in the third step, what happens? So the process happens on the data to produce the output. So we write the process by the means of program, right? Now in the next step, what happens? So as a result of process, some output is generated. So result are displayed in form of output. And the last step is it controls all the operations inside a computer. So for a successful execution of any operation, we require some control. So computer controls each and every operation which is going to be performed inside the computer. It happens under the control of computer. Now this is our basic block diagram of computer. Okay, so here you can see we have different units. So this is our basic block diagram, and it has different units. We will see each and every unit in detail. So first unit is our input unit. Now the next unit is our memory unit. Inside the memory unit, we have two kinds of memory. First is the primary memory and the secondary memory. Now the next unit is our central processing unit. So inside the central processing unit, we have a control unit and a arithmetic and logical unit. And our finally last unit is our output unit. So in output we gets the information as a part of processing. So here you can see this strong line represents the information or the data which is transferred from one unit to other unit, while this dashed line represents the transfer of control. So how this works, let us illustrate by using some animation. So first of all, in the input we provide data, and then that input goes inside the storage memory, and from the storage memory it loads into the primary memory, and then the control is transferred to the central processing unit for further processing. Inside the central processing unit we have a control unit for controlling the various operations, and the next unit is arithmetic and logical unit. So arithmetic and logical unit will perform our mathematical operations such as arithmetic operation as well as logical operations, and after the performing the arithmetic and logical operation, it provides the output back into the primary memory, and from the primary memory we get our output. So how this process happens, let us see by an illustration. So here you can see this is the path. First of all it goes to the input unit. So now we will see all of the units in detail. So the input unit, so this is the process of entering the data and programs into the computer system. As earlier we have described that we provides data as well as programs into the computer system by the means of input unit. So in the input unit we have different devices through which we can provide the data as well as program into the computer system. Now the next unit is a very much important unit. It is known as a control unit. So we have seen that computer requires some control, and this control is provided by the control unit. So input, output, processing and storage is performed under the supervision of a unit which is called a control unit. So all of the our unit such as input, output, processing and storage is performed under the supervision of control unit. So control unit is the boss of other unit, we can say. Okay, now it decides when to start receiving data, when to stop receiving data, where to store data, etc., etc. So as control unit has the main power to take decisions on behalf of other units. So it decides start receiving data or stop receiving data, or the location of the data storage. Now the next unit is our memory unit. So in memory we generally store the data for either temporary or for permanently. Now memory unit comprises of two types of memory: primary memory or secondary memory. So we will see what is a primary memory and what is a secondary memory. So in primary memory also we have two main varieties. First is a random access memory and the next is a read only memory. So a random access memory is also known as RAM, and read only memory is also known as a ROM. So these RAM and ROM are our primary memory. So we will use the RAM for temporary storage, and ROM for permanent data storage. So what is the difference between a RAM and a ROM? So RAM is a volatile in nature, while ROM is a non-volatile memory. So first of all, by listening this, one question arises in my mind: what is a volatility? So we will see RAM is a volatile, means when we turn off the power, whatever the data is stored inside the RAM, we cannot use when we power on the system, means it cannot store the data if power is not there. And ROM is a non-volatile, means ROM is once we have stored the data inside the ROM, then it is there permanently. Okay, so this is the main basic difference. Now RAM is the thing, without RAM our single operation is not possible. Okay, so RAM is an important part of our system. ROM is also a important part, but ROM has a fixed amount and it is stored inside one chip on our motherboard, and RAM is stored inside a memory bank which is on our motherboard. Okay, and we can also expand the capacity of RAM. So the more amount of memory in our system will make our system faster. Now we will see on the secondary memory. So what is a secondary memory? So secondary memory is used for a long-term storage capacity. As we have seen earlier that we will store the data either temporarily or permanently. So when the permanent part comes, we use a secondary memory which provides us a long-term storage and we can rely on them. So in a secondary memory we use hard disk, floppy disk, optical disks, magnetic tapes for storing our data for later usage. Now today we are using hard disk of various capacities, then in our today's life we are not using floppy disk. Floppy disks are now obsolete because due to the advanced storage techniques and devices. Now we will also use the optical disk such as a CD, DVD. So these disks are our routine life part. We use it randomly and to store our data such as songs, videos, etc. etc. Now the magnetic tapes. So magnetic tapes are one reliable storage and some higher amount of data is stored inside the magnetic tapes. Now our next unit is arithmetic and logical unit. So arithmetic and logical unit is a sub unit inside our central processing unit. So as we have seen earlier that arithmetic and logical unit performs the mathematical operations. So the major operations performed by the ALU are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, logic and comparison. So all these operations are performed by the ALU. Now the next unit is our output unit. So output unit is a process of producing result from the data for getting useful information. So our main aim for using computer is to get some meaningful result for which we have used the computer and for which we have provided the data in the input phase. Now regarding the next part of our computer. So central processing unit is also known as a brain of computer. As we have seen that central processing unit comprises of arithmetic logical unit and control unit. So a control unit, as we have seen earlier, that control unit controls the different units which is there inside our system, and it also handles the ALU. So the most important operations are handled by our CPU, hence we call it as a brain of computer. Because in real life analogy we see that as a brain of any human being is a master of his body, means whatever the command issued by the brain have to followed by the different organs of our body. So the same way CPU act as a brain of computer. Now here you can see this thing diagrammatically. Here this is our arithmetic logical unit, this is our control unit, and this is our CPU. So ALU plus control unit is our central processing unit. Now we will see some details. Now this is the computer history. We have some different how the evolution of computer happens, we will see. So this is our system, typical system. In this we have this is output devices, some input devices. Now this is our memory part, how the actual our memory looks like and how it is represented. So this is our RAM, and this is its internal representation. It is stored in, and this is our CPU. Right. So in the CPU we have ALU, control unit, and all these. Now